Hey guys, and welcome back to AzuruPlays Coffee Talk. Today we're doing September 28th, 2020, and like I said in the previous episode, we're going to start it off with a story. So I'm going to read the three stories because obviously I think I should be reading one every episode. I think that's how it's going to come out, each day. So, swipe right to outer space. Hello, there is a female alien. That's what you call us, right? From a planet located in a galaxy the humans call Andromeda. I'm here to make sure my kind can survive longer and spread further across the universe. That's what's written on her dating app profile. As a sci-fi nerd, I didn't think much about swiping right, even though the pictures she was using for her profile were just cosplay silhouettes and weird artsy space-like photos. And here she is now, sipping her cup of Papua Wamina, looking exactly like the dream girl I've always fantasized about. Dark, bobbed hair, thick eyebrows, sharp eyes, and a never-ending smile directed right at me. So yeah, I came to visit this place like 168 hours ago. There were 12 of us, and I'm the lucky one being located in the place with such a fantastic drinks, she says, after some time spent explaining about her task as an alien. I love sci-fi, and this might be too much. She hasn't said anything about her job, where she was really born, or any other normal stuff. Maybe she's crazy, that must be it. No way such a perfect looking girl could be perfect on the inside too, I say to myself. So, what's your plan? Are you going to release this story as a novel, comic, a movie? I ask her. What story? The story you've been telling me. It sounds like it could be really popular if you adapted it into the right medium. Well, I've been telling the story through social media and dating apps. That's not enough. If you could be adapted to some kind of mainstream media, you could be rich, you know. You could be famous. Famous. Does that mean more of your people would know about my people and our mission? Definitely. And with exposure like that, it would be easier for me to meet humans with high quality seeds. Yeah, I guess. Okay then, where do I start? Suddenly my phone starts ringing. It's my best friend. Pardon me for a minute. I need to get this, I say to her as I answer the call. Yo dude, who the hell is that chick you're with? She's freaking gorgeous, man. My friend's excited voice meets my ear. An overly loud whisper I'm immediately suspicious of. What? Are you at our usual coffee shop? Yeah bro, I'm lining up at the counter, do you see me? Oh yep, there you are. You lucky bastard. Where did you meet that beauty, man? I always love when they grow their hair super long and then colour it like that. Huh? What do you mean? The chick bro, sat right in front of you. Looks like my ideal girl. Long hair, all rainbow coloured like that, big eyes and those cheekbones. I put down my phone and stare at the girl, round-cheeked girl in front of me with a strange mix of emotions. Why are you looking at me like that? You really are an alien. Yeah, that's what I've been telling you this whole time. Well, fuck me. Finally, that was my task all along. So my place or yours? And please, no protection. Wow. That's insane. Imagine you and your friend both like hitting on the same guy. Like, damn. That's a no-go in my books, but that's kind of crazy that that alien will change appearance to match what is attractive to each person. I'm kind of intrigued what it would be for me because I'm very much a personality person. I'm personality over looks, so it'd be interesting to see what the alien would show for me. I mean, I myself don't know what I find like physically attractive, so. And the next story was on the 27th. So I think this is when. So this was last episode. So this is when Henry came around. So I think it's themed based on who's going to visit the cafe, because the day before that it was the astronaut, wasn't it? So here, Cyberpunk Love Hotel. Room service, get this order to room 512. The order came around 10:30 p.m. I was doing nothing, or in other words, I was waiting for an order to come. I was tasked to take a bottle of wine and a couple packs of condoms. Yes, sometimes guests really do ask for things like this. Talk about being unprepared. The person in charge that night gave me the requested items and let me out of the room to deliver it. From there, I went to the lobby and waited for the elevator to arrive. While I was waiting, a guest came behind me and pressed the button to call the elevator. He looked at me in awe. I looked back at him, showing him the smile the smile hotel management taught me. He smiled back. When we got to the elevator, he pushed the button for the 3rd floor. Silence filled the tiny room. As we ascended, the guest pulled his phone from his pocket and started recording me. This again, I thought. I didn't do anything about it. To be precise, I can't do anything about it. It's part of my job after all. Ding! We reached the 3rd floor. The guest left while still pointing his camera at me. At me. I waited alone until the elevator reached the 5th floor for a few seconds. I left the elevator and started moving towards room 512. When I was in front of the door, I rang the doorbell to let the occupants know I'd arrived. "It's here," I can hear the muffled voice of a woman. The door opened. "Look, hon, they really do use a robot to deliver room service," the woman shouted back to her partner. "That is so cool," the guy responded, trying to sound interested, though I'm sure he was staring at the woman's butt and couldn't wait to use the stuff they'd ordered. "I want to take a picture with the robot, okay?" the woman said in a... oh boy. Sasharine? I don't know. Sasharin, sweet, mildly nauseating tone. "Sure, hon. Wait, are you sure it's just okay to hug the robot like that?" Huh? Turned out the man could think with his big brain after all. "It's fine. I saw they even have a robot you can have sex with. I'm sure a simple hug won't matter," said the woman. "That's a different model. What's next? You're gonna hug the exterminator?" I screamed internally. "Say cheese." Then 1, 2, 3, flash. "It looks so cute. I was hoping it might look more human-like though. Maybe they don't have the technology for that yet," said the adult woman who still hadn't grasped the concept of look but don't touch. "Okay, come on, darling. This robot has got other things to do. Let's just take our order and let it do its work." They took their order and closed the door. Oh, humans, how the hell did your people manage to survive for so long in this universe, I wondered, as I trundled back down to my room. Oh, that's cool, like a robot. I was not expecting that. I was kind of expecting that to be a real person. That was a nice twist. And then, here is today's story. The anxious boy and his love stories on public transport. The day was hot, sunny and humid, just like most days in Jakarta. I was standing inside a crowded bus, neither well-functioning air conditioning nor proper ventilation, trying to keep myself productive in the uncomfortable environment while reading my favorite recently bought copy of Haruki Harukami's The Elephant Vanishes, while listening to a random playlist on my old iPod. Despite the hellish conditions, you could say I was luckier than most because I was standing near the rear of the bus, leaning my back on the side of a seat, safe enough to not fall out of the bus, breezy enough to breathe freely. As mentioned, I was on a public bus in Jakarta, so naturally I needed to be wary of my surroundings, mostly keeping my belongings secure from pickpockets and other human pests. I glanced around the bus several times in between pages, and that was when I saw her. It's hard to describe her. She has no specific characteristic to differentiate her from other women. She was like the perfect example of the girl you walk past unseeing on the sidewalk every day. A girl you might glance at for a second, and then a few steps later, it would be hard to even remember her hair color, never mind what her eyes, her nose, and her mouth looked like. She was standing near the front of the bus, not leaning on anything or anyone, not touching the bacteria-infested hand grip on the ceiling of the bus. Although, to be fair, it might have been hard for her to reach that grip. Anyway, but still, she stood there with the perfect balance of a tree rooted in... but still, She stood there with the perfect balance of a tree rooted in healthy soil. She stood as if somebody had silently put the Venus de Milo on the bus, and she somehow fitted perfectly, without anyone noticing apparently. She was wearing a pair of earphones, wired, just like headphones were supposed to be, and a slight smile on her face. Sometimes she closed her eyes for a few moments, enjoying the music only she could hear. Her eyes rarely stayed on one place. She kept wandering around the bus, not too fast like someone anxious, not too slow like looking for someone or something specific. Maybe she's the one, I thought. And this wasn't the first time a thought like this had crossed my mind. As a hopeless romantic, seeing any woman who piques my interest will immediately trigger a story in my imagination. A story of how I'll approach them, get to know them, with the proviso that they're just as I imagine them to be. Start dating, get married, have kids, grow old in our home together, and so on and so on. Random cuties, that's what I call them, unicorn among horses. The term doesn't really apply to any cute girls I see, of course. It has to be someone special, or at least someone I imagine to be special. The thing is, automatically imagining those stories whenever I happen across the random cutie isn't healthy. It puts a toll on my mind and of course my heart. It creates a lot of unhealthy expectations before any opportunities even arise. Oh shit, she looked at me, we made eye contact. For a brief flash seconds. I immediately returned to my book. Did she notice me staring at her? Did she see what I was thinking? My mind went stop spinning, overthinking, while my pulse beats double time in my ears. I continued staring at my book. With what just happened, I obviously can't read it properly. My eyes were looking at the words, but nothing was being processed other than thoughts of her. I glanced back at her. She was staring at me. Eye contact more than once? This has to mean something. Should I approach her and introduce myself? Yes, I should. But what if things go wrong? What's the worst that could happen if we introduce ourselves? First, it's a crowded bus, and moving from the rear to the front door will definitely annoy some people. Second, after we approach her, she becomes annoyed. Oh, come on. You're overthinking as usual. Nothing bad will happen, even if she does get annoyed. Don't dismiss me. Nothing bad will happen. Well, she might scream and say I'm a pervert, and then the whole bus will beat me to death. Oh, and the worst option, what if we introduce ourselves and then it turns out she's not like we imagined her to be? All that time and energy would have been wasted, exchanged for years of agony. Oh, for everything will be fine. Don't worry so much. No matter what happens second, we'll have to try something first. No, there's too much of a risk. The debate is still raging inside my head, and that's when it happens. We make eye contact again, and this time it lasts longer than a few seconds. Then she smiled at me, just a small curve on those perfectly average, beautiful lips. I quickly returned to my book. See? You have to do something. But remember the girl with the violin we saw on the train to Yogyakarta? I don't know. A few years ago. Of course I remember. Exactly. She was just a random person that sat across from me on the train. We don't even remember what month it was, and yet we still remembered the maroon coat she was wearing, the violin case she put on the overhead compartment, her reddish hair in that pixie cut. Stop it. That was different. And we might have saved ourselves a lot of embarrassment by not talking to her. The thoughts, the noise, the internal dialogue, it won't stop. I was sweating, but not because of the heat, a cold sweat. This had to stop. Stop! I screamed internally. Everything stopped, and just in time, my old iPod randomly shuffled 2 explosions in the spaces. The only moment we were alone. I cranked up the volume, put my book in my bag, and just breathed. Yes, I might lose a chance to meet the one by doing this, but at least, as long as I don't know her, she's perfect. As far as I know, she might be listening to explosions in the space. As far as I know, she might be a big fan of Harakami and Final Dreams 9. As far as I know, she might be single. As far as I know, she might be a 100% perfect match for me that I can't believe it can exist if my knowledge of her goes any further than what I know right now. Besides, as the old saying goes, if it's meant to be, it will be. The bus stopped in front of the plaza Senyan, in front of Plaza Senyan, my destination. It was time for me to go. I decided not to look in her direction as I left, knowing that if I looked at her, it would be the last time I ever saw her. That's too hard for a hopeless romantic like me. I left the bus and enjoyed the warm sun and the breeze of fresh air. Finally out of that metal Schrodinger's box? I think that's how you say it. That's when it happened. I turned my head to the right and there she was, standing alone, enjoying the breeze. Now, she was free of the roasting metal box we human named bus. She turned her head to the left, showing me a glimmer of surprise at seeing me standing there. After that, she smiled. So, if it's meant to be, it will be. That's a cute story. I actually really like that. That was very well built up, romantic. I'm a very romantic person. I love romance, so I thoroughly enjoyed that. I wonder if things hit off. What do you think happened? Did they live happily ever after? Was she the one for him? Who knows? I guess that's up to imaginations. And like you were saying, it's what we know that's perfect, right? So the story right now, as it is, it's perfect. She got off the bus and he got off the bus and they looked at each other. And whatever happens next, as long as we don't know, it's kind of always going to remain a perfect story in our eyes. Which is quite nice. I like that. I like that train of thought and that setup. That's well thought out. I'll give you that. Kudos. Major kudos. So anyway, continuing with the episode, we're actually on day 28th of September. So we'll actually continue with the day. I know this episode might be slightly longer, so without further ado, now the stories are done, let's get back to the action. Are you sure that would be okay? Yes. I mean, it would be really hard to pull off, but it's something that will make the story different. Different isn't always good. It's a neat concept, but you need to handle it carefully and gracefully. I know. Oh, it's Gala. Hey, Gala. Good evening, everyone. Welcome, Mr. Gala. Am I interrupting? It looked like you were having an intense discussion. It's nothing. Emma was just giving me feedback. It's for the book I'm writing. Sounds like a heavy discussion. What are you up to tonight? I'm just planning to sit and relax. Please, don't let my presence interrupt you. Oh, don't worry about it. Although, I need to interrupt Emma for a moment. Sure, how can I help you? Can I have a cup of... You remember my remedy? Of course. Do you want me to give it a try again? My last order didn't quite hit the spot. Remember, it's tea and ginger. The last thing is definitely a different ingredient from either of those. Okay, remember, it has tea and ginger. Tea and ginger. And I remember I asked you guys, what should I try? And you guys said milk. So I'm thinking tea, ginger milk. Tea, milk, ginger? Okay, I'm gonna go with tea, milk, and ginger. Like you guys said in the comments, because 2 of you guys said it. So if it's not that, we're gonna have to try a different combination. Make sure you guess down below. If it is wrong, give me another guess. I want to try it. I actually have no clue. You said it's very different, so I'm kind of thinking what if it's mint, or what if it's egg, what if it's tea and matcha? It could be anything. I get why we're saying milk, because in his profile he had a lot of... Gala had... Whoa, hold on. Judging from the smell, this looks like it. Whoa, you guys! Pull through comment section. Wow. I was gonna say I get the milk because obviously he's cat person, a werewolf. I get it. I have the same feeling. But okay, I said tea, milk, ginger, tea, milk, ginger, tea, ginger, milk. Oh god, I don't even remember the order I put it in. Does it tell me? Hold on. Hold the phone. It does. Oh, tea, milk, ginger. I've made a note of that mixture. Perfect. Anyway, please Don't mind me and continue with your discussion. Don't worry, Mr. Gala, we're done for the night. You're done. I have a lot of new homework thanks to you. You're welcome. Is Hyde coming? No, I'm by myself tonight. It's gonna be a peaceful night then. That's mean, Freya. Oh, come on, I was just joking. He needs to learn how to communicate his thoughts nicely, though. He might not look like it, but he's a very kind person, you know. He doesn't show it, that's for sure. That applies to you as well. Oh, come on. I love Freya's like facial expressions. She gives such like animated and like great expressions. And holy crap, it's Bailey's. Where's this guy been? Good evening, everyone. Welcome, Mr. Bailey's. Hiya. How are you doing, Freya? Not good. What's going on? Emma just criticized my story. It's called feedback. It's cruel. It's necessary. Sounds interesting. What's the problem with the story? The story is non-linear and quite complicated. Imagine a choose your own adventure storybook, but for adults. Sounds pretty common so far, but instead of telling you which page to turn to, each decision you make will give you a score. What? The score will determine what page you should go to. That sounds more like a video game than a book. I know, it's not that original, but my target here is the mainstream audience. Huh? With the help of my publisher, this kind of book may go mainstream. I just think that Choose Your Own Adventure show, just like that Choose Your Own Adventure show on Netstream. It was nothing new, but because of the marketing and the names involved, it reached the mainstream market. That sounds interesting and highly ambitious, Freya. At least it's simpler than my other idea, which is making the novel not in the form of a book, but in the form of story cards. Oh, what? I know, right? As if she has all the time in the world. And that's before even considering the sensitive issue of setting the story in a world where only humans exist. What did you say? No, there was a reason why I had to be that way. Just wait until I finished, okay? Alright. As Emma said though, I won't have the time. Getting a normal pitch approved is already a steep climb. Let's not make the mountain even higher. Fair enough. What's the story all about, by the way? You'll have to wait for it. Don't want to spoil the fun. If you say so. Anyways, I haven't ordered anything yet. What do you want to drink tonight? Ginger latte, if you know how to make it. Okay, ginger latte. Coffee, ginger, milk. Tea. Oh, so I had the order right. I had the right ingredients. Order really matters. Okay, so coffee, ginger, milk. So, coffee. Good. That was tea. What am I on about? Totally different. Coffee, ginger, and milk. And guess what time it is? Oh no, it's not. There's no latte. There's no latte time. I thought I would be a short latte. Wow, disappointed. I was so hyped for it. Here you go. Thanks. Damn, this is good. With this kind of drink making skill, I wonder why your place isn't any bigger. What we have here now is more than enough for me. Whatever floats your boat, I guess. By the way, how are you doing, Baileys? Still busy with your last client? Oh, I'm done with her. Done? As in you're dropping the project? Hey, I'm not that crazy. I still need the money. Done as in I finished the job. I've spent the last few days making sure it's even done before the deadline. Did she like it? Oh, she loved it. She had some complaints, of course, but I convinced her by using some design terms she doesn't understand. Oh, so you finished your job by bullshitting her? The finest bullshit, my lady. That's one survival skill every freelance must have. Are you working on anything right now? No. I'm taking a break from work. I need to work on a few personal matters. Oh. Like you and Lua? Something like that. By the way, I'm curious. How did you guys meet? If you don't mind me asking. I don't mind. It's just that I was young and stupid, you know. Oh, come on. Who hasn't been there? Oh, you're right. So, I was a bit of a player back in my college. Ooh, spicy. And I was going after my then best friend's girlfriend's friend. Wait, what? Okay, I'll say it slowly. I used to have a best friend who was an incubus. Okay, let's call him Cognac. Cognac had a girlfriend. Still following. And that girl had a friend. That friend is the one I'm after. Oh, okay. Got it. She was one of the hottest girls there. But everyone knew she wasn't the type of girl you'd want to date. Why? I don't want to get into the details, but this succubus was super hot. And all the guys wanted to sleep with her. She was a player too. Huh? That doesn't sound like Lua at all. Because it wasn't Lua, genius. Huh? Lua was my friend's girl. Holy moly. This is getting spicier. The other girl's name was, let's just call her Rose. Continue. I knew Lua thanks to her relationship with Cognac. That's a fake name you made up, right? Yes. Now, will you let me continue without interruptions? Okay. So I asked Lua a lot of things about Rose. She knew what I was after. It annoyed her so much, but I kept on bothering her. I mean, I was a pretty active guy, back then. So Lua came over to visit us at one point. I lived with Cognac back in college. I'd been out and just got back as Lua arrived. A total coincidence. We went into the place together and witnessed something surprising. What? Cognac was sleeping with Rose. Holy mother of moly. I saw the look on Lua's face. The disbelief, anger, sadness. And without even thinking about it, I punched Cognac in the face. You what? I got in a fight with him. I haven't told you. Oh, Cognac was a Brazilian jiu-jitsu tutor for kids. He's pretty good. Oh my. Yeah, I landed that one punch and he beat me to a pulp. Easily. Lua begged me to stop fighting on her behalf. More like she begged Cognac. Hey, I wasn't kidding. I lost, but I don't give up so easily. I was being pretty bad, but Lua took care of my injuries. We grew closer after that. And I don't even remember the exact date, but suddenly that friendship turned into a relationship. That was one hell of a story. I know. Have you seen her, by any chance? Yeah. Lua came by a few days ago. How was she doing? She hasn't returned any of my calls or texts. Well, she's healthy, that's for sure. She got into an argument though. With whom? There was this male model. A model? I didn't think she was the type of girl to go out with a model. Oh, they weren't together. What were they arguing about? Well, we were talking about your relationship. Lua told us the reason behind the fight. About your family stuff, and then this guy Hyde joined the discussion. What did he say? He didn't understand why Lua would insist on family approval, considering, what? You're willing to leave your own family. You would do that for her? Yes, I would. I'm sick and tired of my family. Why would you say that? Let me tell you about my family. Or should I say, most elven families. They all think they're so high and mighty. You're born enough, there are certain unwritten rules you must follow. Reputation and appearance are everything. You must never, ever make your family look bad. You can only befriend certain people. You must dress a certain way. You can only have certain jobs. Jobs that are deemed worthy and successful. Like being a doctor, a lawyer, a CEO. Ever since I was a kid, I've always wanted to be an artist. I love drawing and creating art. However, becoming an artist is not something elves would deem suitable. Unless you become the next Da Vinci. So when I switched from a business major to an art major, My parents went crazy, screamed like they were on fire. They told me that I'd never be rich or successful. All that because you chose not to be? You want to know the worst part? They blamed Lua. What do you mean? They blamed her for my decision to pursue my passion for art. Yelled about how her kind is ruining the country, accusing their religion of worshipping the Dark Lord, accusing her of putting a spell on me and cursing the family. Whoa! I mean, come on, this is the 21st century. That is so not cool. I don't want to sound judgmental, but your family is racist. Tell me about it. Lua is the only person that can make me feel alive. She showed me that I can be free and pursue my dreams. I don't understand why Lua is so obsessed with the idea of reconciliation with my family. I just don't get it. I have no problem leaving my family, you know. I would happily leave them for the both of us. What about her? What about her and her family? You may be happy to leave your family, however, it may not be the same for her. Gala, do you have something to say? Perhaps you could give us a different perspective. Sorry, I didn't mean to eavesdrop. I couldn't help overhearing the story. I assume that the person you're talking about is not an elf, correct? Yes, she's a succubus. I see. I'm a werewolf. For werewolves, the wolf pack is the most important thing. We'll put family before any other. We often have our own problems within the pack, but we won't abandon our family for anything. Perhaps that's also true for her and her family. Besides, if you leave your family for her, wouldn't that make your parents believe that all those bad stereotypes about succubi are true? I never thought about it that way before. Gala, saying things with a different perspective in the nicest way possible. That's so nice, you know. I really appreciate those kind of people that give you advice, but don't like push it on you. Like give me your opinion, but don't tell me that's the law. Like that's what we want, whether you like it or not. Your actions will have an impact on her as well. And if you leave your family for her, that will put her in a difficult spot. She might feel responsible for your actions. There is nothing to feel bad about. I'm leaving my messy family to create a better one with her. It's easy for you to say that now, but you don't know what the future holds. One day circumstances might change. Oh, he looked straight away. One day, one of you might regret the decision. One day you might use the card, I left my family for you. We love each other. I'll be with her whatever circumstance that may be. You know, love is like a flame. It might burn fiercely at first, but over time it will die down if you don't maintain it. Maintaining it won't be easy, it'll be hard work. Because life is full of storms, and marriage, it will not survive on love alone. Whoa, that's deep. We'll have each other, and that's enough for us. Tell me, do you have health insurance? What? I'm an elf, why would I need health insurance? You'll need some. What for? Immortality is an elven privilege, but you'll lose it if your family disowns you. I've seen people go bankrupt because they fell ill and got seriously injured. Emptied their entire life savings of 8 pill. Because in this country, for an $8 pill, because in this country they charge $20,000 for it. And if you decide to have children, they won't have the same privileges you do. There's a high probability that they'll be bullied for being a half-bred. There are consequences. It shouldn't be taken lightly. Think about it. Anyway, I've got to go. I apologize for my intrusion. No, thank you for your insight. I've got to go too. Or want to head out together? Sure. Thanks for the drink, Emma. And Freya. Bye. What? You made me lose 2 customers in a minute. Hey, that wasn't on me. They were leaving anyway. Are you gonna write in that book of yours? It's a secret. If your book is based on this coffee shop, how can you present a story like theirs in a world with only humans around? I'm not sure. Perhaps a hot drink will give you some inspiration. Sounds like a great idea. Midnight Summer's Dream. That looks kind of cool. It looks like some kind of spice. And with that, we're going to end the episode here. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the little story catch up in the beginning and the opposite side of Hyde and Lua, Gala and Bailey's. It'd be interesting to see. I wonder what it would have been like if Hyde was the one talking to Bailey's and Gala was the one talking to Lua, because I feel like those two have very similar personalities. Lua and Gala, like, they're quite reserved, quite chill, you know, they don't want to have any confrontation. They try and like keep everyone happy, people pleasers, whereas Bailey's is willing to be quite aggressive, same with Hyde, and like kind of be very opinionated and state their facts and be like, no, this is how it's going to happen. Like, they're quite stubborn. I definitely think that this kind of situation between Lua and Bailey's is quite common, especially with mixed race people of ethnic minorities, where family status is quite important, same with money and job. I think those kind of factors are valuable, but maybe not so much in this modern day, and maybe in the story they're not so relevant. And I think it's great to shine the light upon that, because a lot of people are unaware. People think like, oh, you know, love's so easy, you just pick whoever you want to be with, and then you pick them and you stick with them. But like Gala said, like, love's like a flame. Like, in the beginning it's gonna be like all based on love, but then at some point love becomes a choice, and you will have to pick the person that you're with, and it's not really gonna be based on love. It's more of like a logical mental decision. Like, you choose, like, yes, I want to be with this person because, you know, they bring this and this benefits. That actually is like a biological thing. I don't know the exact term, but it's like an equation. Like, it's like how we determine what's important. Like, if you were with your parents and like a lover, like, who would you pick if both of them were drowning? And apparently we would pick the lover because we would be able to breed with them and continue like the human race, for example. Whereas if you pick your parent, you wouldn't breed with your parent, really, would you? Obviously your parent is important to you. I'm not saying like you're going to try and not rescue them, but like, they say that because you would want to continue your bloodline, or they are the most likely person to continue your bloodline, or someone that you're gonna have to continue human race with, you would pick them. There is like a equation for it. I don't know what it's called. I'm sure someone knows what I'm talking about. It's really common. I'm really bad with like remembering facts like that, but it's quite interesting. So if I do remember it, I will let you know, but no promises. Let me know what you guys think about the whole Bailey's and Lua situation. I'll be really intrigued to see what people think. I think Gala is a very sweet person. Gala and Freya's always asking questions. Freya's getting kind of nosy, but I feel like she has to be nosy for the story to continue, so I can't really like shoot her down. Like, I don't know, I just think Freya's got a very like good, like, friendly personality, so she's able to get along with everyone, and we as the barista don't actually ask too many questions either. We're like quite quiet, which is, I think, quite respectful in that sense, and we let the characters do the talking. But in the next episode, I wonder who will meet. I wonder who's going to come to the cafe, what's going to go on, like, what's coffee talk what kind of coffee talks are we going to be having. And I hope you guys enjoy. Make sure you like and subscribe, and I shall see you all in the next episode of AzuruPlays Coffee Talk.